All right, let's get right into it. Picture this. It's 2025 in Hong Kong. You look up and you see it. Clinging to the side of a brand new gleaming glass skyscraper is this incredible web of bamboo. It's such a striking image, right? It feels like a total paradox, this ancient craft wrapped around super modern architecture. And that brings us to the big question we're going to tackle in this explainer. Why? Why does a city that's at the forefront of global finance and tech stick with a method that looks like it's from another century? Is it just for tradition's sake? Or is there something else going on here? You know, this quote just nails the feeling perfectly. The source material says it feels almost cyberpunk. And it's true. That blend of organic bamboo against a backdrop of neon lights, it's like something out of a sci-fi movie. But the real story here, it isn't about style. It's about pure, hard-nosed pragmatism. Okay, so let's just bust the biggest myth right off the bat. A lot of people figure this is all about preserving tradition, some kind of cultural heritage thing. But the reality? Nope. It's all about the money. Just look at the numbers. A complete bamboo scaffolding system, we're talking materials, labor, the whole shebang, costs just 30 to 40% of what a metal system would run you. In one of the most expensive cities on Earth to build anything, that's not just an advantage, that's a game changer. And this chart really puts it into perspective. For a big project, say a residential tower, choosing bamboo can literally save developers millions of dollars. There are no government subsidies pushing them to switch to metal, so economically, it's a no-brainer. The key thing to understand is this. Bamboo is still here because the math just works. All right, let's move on to the next big myth, that bamboo is just an outdated technology. And this is where it gets really interesting, because it turns out bamboo isn't just cheaper, it's actually better for the organized chaos of Hong Kong's streets. It's not outdated, it's perfectly adapted. This comparison really tells the whole story. A bamboo pole is about a sixth of the weight of a metal one, so workers can just carry them up, no cranes needed. That means a skilled crew can put up a bamboo scaffold 2, even 3 times faster. But the real genius is its flexibility. Hong Kong is all tight alleys and weirdly shaped buildings. Standard metal poles, they often just can't be made to fit. But bamboo, you can cut it on site and tie it at any angle you want, wrapping it around any curve like a glove. Okay, we really need to talk about the most critical, most widely believed myth of all. And this one is actually dangerous. It's the idea that bamboo is somehow naturally fire-resistant. You've probably heard this idea before, that if bamboo gets hot, it forms this protective charcoal layer that stops it from burning. It sounds plausible, I get it, but it's based on a total misunderstanding of how fire actually works. Let me be as clear as I possibly can be. This is scientifically wrong. Bamboo is wood. It's a combustible material, and under the right conditions, believe me, it burns really, really fast. So here's why that whole charcoal myth completely falls apart. Yeah, you can turn bamboo into charcoal, sure, but you have to do it with high heat in a low oxygen environment. A fire on a skyscraper is the exact opposite of that. It's an open-air, high-oxygen inferno with powerful winds whipping upwards, basically fanning the flames like a giant bellows. In that situation, bamboo isn't a shield, it's fuel. Which, of course, leads to the obvious question. If this whole structure is made of something that burns so easily, why isn't every construction site fire in Hong Kong a citywide catastrophe? And the answer is that the safety of the system was never supposed to come from the bamboo itself. The real hero, the actual safety feature that's meant to prevent fires, is something else entirely. It's that protective netting they wrap around the whole thing. Here's how it works. First, that certified netting acts like a shield. It physically blocks sparks from welding or grinding from ever reaching the bamboo. Second, if a fire does start, the netting is designed to shrink and char, but not actually catch fire itself. And third, and this is so important, it doesn't drip molten plastic, which would just spread the fire everywhere. That netting is the real firewall. So when we do see accidents happen, what's really going on? Well, it's almost always a failure of the process, not a failure of the bamboo. It's people using cheap, uncertified netting to save a few bucks. It's workers lifting the net out of the way to get a better angle. It's letting flammable trash pile up inside. It's welders doing work they're not supposed to be doing. The problem isn't the material, it's people not following the rules. And this all brings us to the final and maybe most important point. We have to stop looking at this system as old and start seeing it for what it truly is. A uniquely brilliant adaptation to a very specific, very challenging place. This comparison is so important to understand. You'll hear that some cities in mainland China have banned bamboo scaffolds, but you're really talking about two totally different worlds. Hong Kong has a very mature system with mandatory licenses for workers and pretty strict enforcement. The mainland system is much more inconsistent. And more than that, Hong Kong's insane density makes the speed and flexibility of bamboo way more valuable. So you see, it all comes together. Hong Kong's bamboo scaffolding isn't some dusty relic they forgot to get rid of. It's a finely tuned, modern solution that was born from the city's unique pressures. Its incredible density, its hyper-efficient market, and its relentless focus on what just plain works. And that right there is the ultimate takeaway. The debate shouldn't be about getting rid of bamboo. It should be about cracking down on non-compliance, making sure every single site uses the right certified netting, follows every safety rule, and gets properly inspected. The problem isn't the material. It's when people use the material the wrong way. And that leaves us with this one last powerful idea to chew on. When something goes wrong, the question we should be asking ourselves isn't, why on earth are we still using bamboo? The real question, the much more important question, is why did the system of rules and enforcement that was designed to make it safe fail in this one specific case? And that changes the whole conversation from one about materials to one about accountability.